We are live 364 days a year.
What are we doing here?
If Dom turns at SummerSlam, I'm shaving my moustache off. I told you, if that happens, it's going. My lip is cold because of a stupid bet that I made on YouTube.
Oh, good.
Wrestle's better than Daniel Bryan Daniels. Better than Okada.
How did not get sushi after Monday Night Raw?
Good evening from Swansea, wrestling fans. I'm your host, Ben Allison, and you are watching Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast. And we have an absolutely stacked show today. And we are going to be answering the questions and hot takes which you guys have submitted to us via our Instagram, Wrestling Republic Instagram stories. But before we get into all of that, I have to introduce the panel. And let's kick things off over just outside LA in Orange County. There we are. I said it, Clark. How are you?
Just a bit south of LA, but I'm stoked to be here as always. Happy Mailbag Monday. Blues Clues, the whole nine. I'm ready to go. We've got a sweet crew in the building. Let's get into it.
Absolutely. We also have number one Superfly in the comments. Shout out to you. Mail time, mail time, mail time. It's mail time in honor of Blues Clues. We also have Angie in the chat. Shout out to you as well. But we also have Des. How are you today, Des?
Doing well today. Got to say shout out to Blues Clues. It is indeed Mailbag Monday. We got a lot of takes. Also, a bit of breaking news that came out of WWE. Wrestling never sleeps, and neither do we. Let's get into it.
Absolutely hell of an intro there, Des. You got me hyped up for this
There we
show.
go.
That was wild. When did you prep that?
Right now. Like, I just thought of it.
Pre-show?
No.
You didn't even warn me.
I just thought of it right
I
now.
almost fell over.
It sounded cool, so I was like, all right, I'll just say it.
I love it.
We've also got the Atomic Merp in the comments as well. But before we get any further into today's episode is brought to you by Barista, small batch organic coffee created through excellence, authenticity, and unforgettable moments. More on that later in the show. But before we do, we have to get into the mailbag. In fact, before we even get into the mailbag, we have to talk about a big news story today, and that is that Karrion Kross is officially a free agent as of this morning. He has left the WWE roster. His contract expired last night. He was moved to the alumni section on Saturday. Some people are still convinced that this is a work, but yesterday on his YouTube channel, almost said Wrestling Republic YouTube channel. I'm too used to plugging it there. He revealed that, he's gone from the company. He wanted to stay. He wanted to retire with the company, but they just never approached him with a contract. And honestly, that is kind of heartbreaking because Clark, you had some very harsh words about him last week. You said you didn't care for him. Well, guess what? I'm not the biggest Karrion Kross fan. I'm not going to act like he can have a 5-star classic in the Tokyo Dome. I'm just not. But at the end of the day, this was somebody who was super over, somebody who is very clearly very loyal to the company, and he is somebody who was selling a ton of merch. Why didn't they just keep him around on maybe a little bit of a smaller contract for maybe a shorter time frame? Maybe you extend his deal for 1 year, because based on what he said yesterday, it seemed like he would have done anything to stay with this company. I can't get my head around it, Clark. In fact, I think this is an incredibly dumb decision by the WWE.
I mean, heck, bye-bye, so long, farewell. I don't think we'll see you in September. Either way, at least not in the WWE. I kind of saw this coming. It's not that I didn't care for Karrion Kross. I think he's a talented wrestler and whatnot. I just didn't necessarily care about it. I wasn't as behind it as other fans seem to be this current run. I didn't like the way the match ended with Sammy and no payoff on a storyline that actually did make sense. I felt like that was his best shot. I felt like that was very telling. And we're here now. Where he goes next, I'm not sure. He's a very creative dude. You've got Scarlett. The two of them are incredibly marketable, as you mentioned, when it comes to the merchandise and whatnot. I think they're a valuable pickup for any company, or if we're looking at Hollywood, we're looking at Hollywood. Either way, I do actually wish the best for Karrion Kross, but at the same time, like I said, his WWE status didn't do a whole lot for me.
But again, though, at the same time, when you got somebody who is this over, this much of a company guy, who is clearly willing to just be a good hand, he's not expecting to be a main event talent. Why on earth would you get rid of somebody like this? I don't get it.
I don't know. I think maybe behind the scenes, there's things we don't know about. Maybe he viewed himself as closer to a main event talent. Maybe the negotiations broke down. Maybe there was
no
contract
negotiations.
offer. Maybe there wasn't.
At least he claims none.
Yeah.
Maybe anything. It could be anything here. At the end of the day, though, I stand on what I said before, man. Like, bless Karrion Kross. He's very talented, but really doesn't move me either way.
It's horrible. Absolutely horrible, Clark. How about kicking a man when he's down? Firstly, you hate on Ashante the Adonis
I just
so
said
much.
I wish him the best.
Actually, here's a theme. A few months ago, he went off on Ashante the Adonis. Last week, he went off on Karrion Kross. And now neither of their contracts have been renewed. It's all your fault, Clark.
Yikes.
I blame me. That's a good call. I like that.
I will.
I like
It's
that.
all your fault. We got Biggs in the comments saying, honestly, I'm still feeling that this could be a work and he could be helping to develop into the ultimate Bray Wyatt idea that they both had. If you guys haven't heard about that idea, the original pitch was to have him be an extension to the Wyatt Six alongside the Righteous, who of course are now in All Elite Wrestling. I would have loved to see that story. Shard is saying AEW. I can't see that happening. Or if it does happen, I'll tell you exactly how that will go. He will turn up in AEW. He will be on Dynamite for about a month. There'll be tons of hype around him. The hype will then slowly start to die down. He'll then be moved over to Collision. Give it a month or two, and he'll be moved over to Ring of Honor. Honestly, I think him in AEW just makes no sense. He doesn't fit AEW, and AEW doesn't fit him. But, Des, what is your thoughts?
I gotta say, it's a really interesting situation because when you see a lot of these releases that have been in the WWE the last few years, a lot of them are because they can't really get over with the crowd or they're just not viewed as main event talent. In this situation, maybe Kross wasn't viewed as main event talent, but he was very organically getting over with the crowd. He's moving merch sales, right? He's a draw to most people. So it's really shocking that WWE went in the direction they did. R-Truth said it in a way where it's like, hey, you're not winning matches, you're not winning championships, but you won over the people. And that is what's most important. And I 100% agree, because as cool it is to win championships, if you can get crowd support and you can move ticket sales, WWE is going to look at that and they're going to really want you. I'm looking at Jey Uso specifically because that's exactly what happened with him. I don't know. Like, this really is a shocking move. I don't know what's next for him, right? Because the whole thing with Don Callis and AEW, there was some bad blood in TNA too. I could see him doing some great work in the Indies, but I just don't know, like, where else he could go. He had a great thing going on. Actually, he made the whole documentary about, his viral moment over the weekend, and it was really good cinematography, honestly. So maybe there's a door open for Hollywood. I gotta say, it's definitely a head scratcher. One thing, too, I noticed was, this is for me a little more personal, Karrion Kross, after the Monday Night Raw I went to, actually went to meet fans outside, take pictures and whatnot. One of my buddies actually got to take a picture with him, and Bruce Pritchard has said that he wasn't very happy that Kross was doing that, which is really shocking he would do that, because you would think that you want him to be with the fans, right, and have that moment with the fans, but it just seemed like WWE didn't want to get him organically over, which is a problem with WWE in the past. So, like I said, I don't really know what the plan was, and yeah, I don't know. It's really confusing.
I actually want to find out quickly what happened with Bruce Pritchard there. Did Bruce come out and stop him or what?
That's what he said in the documentary. I saw one of the clips. He was saying,
he said
like,
it? Oh, wow, okay, sorry.
Yeah, Bruce. I mean, Bruce,
I haven't seen it all yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it all either. But I know Bruce was also he was very unhappy with the Netflix runtime too when Punk and Rollins. So
Yeah.
I don't know. There's stories
Seems
about
like
Bruce.
really positive guy, doesn't he? Really, really nice guy, that Bruce Pritchard.
He really is.
There was a comment here which I'm really fascinated by. DCX Warlord says the Righteous aren't in AEW anymore. It is very possible that news story has just somehow gone under my radar, and based on how AEW presented them, I wouldn't be too surprised. And it is 3 years now since they signed. So maybe, but I have no idea if that is true or not. Please let me know in the comments if it is. Angie says, I was really hoping that there was a chance for Kross. Shard says, Ashanti the Adonis is better. And the Atomic Merp says, Clark, crying emoji. But Garrett Sari says, there's so much talent he could work with in AEW. Do you think it could work, Clark?
In AEW? Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess him and Scarlett,
Really?
presentation wise, I think it's possible for like a short run. I just don't know how much juice you have there. I mean, if we're going to get Killer Kross, like the guy that just chokes people out and is ruthless with an unbelievable entrance, then maybe, yeah. But if we're going to try to make him the clever one or the gladiator or any of these other things we've seen over the last 3 years, then I don't know, man. Like, as much as I like Gladiator, Gladiator 2 was a bit of a flop. And I'm just saying, like,
It's a good movie.
You're not
Great
wrong
job.
there.
I don't necessarily know that the route for Karrion Kross is easy because of the vibe he's brought. I don't even know if this. I think the best version of him was the Silent Killer alongside Scarlett with the amazing entrance, and we've lost that. The veil has been lifted. There's no secret anymore. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
Can you guys hear my cat?
I can't.
Yeah,
He
that's
wants,
a
he
cat
wants to
running.
chime in into the Karrion Kross situation.
Very
So,
upset about
I feel like
Kross.
we should let him get in. You know, yeah.
Cookie! I've deafened all the viewers and she hasn't stopped.
Is that
but
Cookie
Instead of-
Kross? Don't lie to us. Is the last
Cookie
name
Kross?
Kross? Is it Cookie Kross?
Cookie Kross.
It's not Cookie Kross. That would be
Oh,
absolutely
That
wild
would
to name
make
a cat.
sense on
It
why
would.
the cat's
Plus-
upset, though.
Instead of
would.
TikTok to Meow Meow.
That's all I'm
There
saying.
you go.
Don't act like it was a long leap for me to get there.
But we got Insta-Ron with 2323 saying, if the crowd hijacks tonight's Raw, it will be hard to believe this doesn't turn into a truth situation. Here's what I will say to that. They
awesome.
can't do this about everyone anytime there's
Yes.
any uproar. Yes, it was stupid to get rid of him,
This is so
but I
funny.
don't think they can continue doing that.
My favorite thing in the world right now is like there's this new thing like we just found out that if fans all get together and chant, it's possible it affects the show. Like this is like brand new in 2025. Like it's not. And
Why we
it's not going
created
to happen to
Wrestling
every
Republic,
wrestler.
literally.
Yeah, it's literally not going to happen for Kross this time, even if the chance happened, because it can't happen every time. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, look at this. Donnie De Silva. Do we show this
So
one?
here's a twist. I learned this morning that Kross is still not available for any interviews. Make of that what you will. That is
Interesting.
really interesting, actually. He is saying he can take bookings, but saying and doing are two very different things. Keep an eye on that. Really, really interesting. But him in AEW, he doesn't match the AEW ring style. Yes, he'd be different. Yes, he'd stand out. But AEW don't like booking people who don't fit their style.
Joe Kross might be pretty butter though, just for that.
Yeah, it
one.
would be. Also, Kross also talked
yeah.
about Moxley
Why
too, because
I'm just saying.
wouldn't say because Dean Ambrose was the one that talked to Karrion Kross about him joining WWE in 2019.
Who?
So
That's true.
Dean Ambrose,
Dean
John
Ambrose?
Moxley. I'm just saying because
Get
that's
his
what he was.
name right.
In
The guy wrote a
2019, that's
book.
what he did. In 2019, that's what he was called, Dean Ambrose. So I'm just trying
Yeah,
to
well.
go with the times. He's-
Fair enough, Des,
Yeah.
but that is a great point. Him and
Yeah.
Kross are really, really close friends. DCX says Vincent and Dutch are not on the AEW roster page anymore. That would be fascinating.
It's not
But the
it
thing is,
at
I
all.
don't think it will happen, even if this is a work, purely because why would he say that in the documentary if that is the plan? But I would love for it to be the plan. I really, really would. Right.
Yeah.
Up next, I've got a confession to make, guys. Austin Theory push-up challenge. It's over. 3 reasons why.
Too many push-ups. We all know.
One too many. No, that's not a reason. That is
There's
not
a
a
lot of
reason.
push-ups.
Basically, when I was genuinely not even joking, we were talking about this before the show. When I was younger, I broke both my wrists, and I broken my right wrist twice, right? And I've actually been doing push-ups every day for a while now, but I always took 2 days off for the weekend. And obviously, during this challenge, I can't do that. It's every single day. And the last couple of days, my right wrist has been absolutely killing, so I just can't do that anymore.
on the
The
DL.
second issue
Fair.
is I didn't realize until this Kross situation happened that any reel or any clip with the theme of the wrestler in, if they get released, gets taken down. So therefore, if this situation ends with Austin Theory being released, which I do think is possible, all those videos are going to get taken down immediately by WWE anyway. So it will actually kind of make this entire thing, because I don't have the footage of it without the audio, completely pointless. And the third one is I don't really think anybody cared about it, if I'm being completely honest. But
Dang.
those are the three.
I cared.
I
I was
cared, yeah.
impressed.
It was
I
nice.
thought you were getting more
Yeah.
yoked.
I thought you were going to be like Austin Theory.
I thought you were going to be maybe
Nobody
a fitness
cared.
influencer by the end of it. I thought there was a potential for expansion into the bodybuilding industry and
Yeah.
things of that nature. I was
thought-
all in the entire time. Yeah, Shad cared
Yeah.
too. Look at him.
Yeah, see? Shoddy cared. I thought we were
Everyone
going to get
cared.
bent.
Yeah, no,
thought
dude,
we-
I cared deeply.
Donnie says IWC about to call Ben injury prone.
Yeah,
It is kind of true, to be honest. My
Honestly-
right is messed up.
Well, be careful. Remember, once Ben turns 30, it's all over. So
Yeah, that's retirement age for me,
that's
honestly.
the end. That's his retirement age. That's when his body starts to really break down.
Yeah.
It's gonna be just useless.
It's just
But
over.
anyway, let's jump back into the mail, shall we? Because our next question, well, it's actually a hot take, and this hot take is submitted by at B5T1NDAWR1D. Basically, best one, dog one, I don't know. And his hot take is saying Jade Cargill can't wrestle and should have been in NXT this whole time. I don't get this with Jade Cargill. Everybody looks at her with a magnifying glass over each one of her performances, and almost every time I see her, she puts on a banger. She outperforms the likes of Tiffany Stratton, who get analyzed way, way less. And anytime Jade makes a single mistake, even if it's her opponent's fault, suddenly the IWC is up in arms, crying about it over on Twitter. Clark, I want to get your take on this.
I hate torching the question askers, but the reality is, I thought the ice bucket challenge was done years ago, but this person needs to pour a bucket of ice water over their head and wake up. What in the wide world of sports are you talking about? Jade Cargill just intimidates you and it freaks you out. And I get that. That's what makes her one of the best in the business right now when it comes to charisma and every other aspect of wrestling. Yes, she was new to the in-ring action, but at the end of the day, she's not green anymore. You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. She can work as well as anybody. The look is perfect. The character work is amazing. The charisma is off the charts. Jade Cargill is a star's star, and I hate torching somebody that asked a question. I do appreciate you, but don't sit here and tell me that Jade Cargill can't wrestle. That's a joke. That's made up. You sound peanut butter and jealous, and I don't like it.
We have a comment here from and you, and I am going to read this out. Women want to look like her, and men are mad they can't be with her. This guy needs to go touch grass, lol.
Yes.
And he was right.
1000%.
Numero 1 says Jade Cargill can wrestle. She has the aura. However, she needs to turn heel and make her own faction. I disagree with that, Numero 1. I think Jade would actually, her star power would be diminished by having people around her at this point in her career. She should be the focal point because she is her, as they can say. Donnie is going as far as saying that she's a far better worker than Tiffany and Lyra, both internet wrestling community favorites. Angie is not having it at all. And Aunt Yu is saying Jade is great on the mic. The Atomic Merp is saying that he is going to take a shot for every time someone's talking a word I can't show about Jade. You'll be very drunk very, very quickly.
Do it.
And Podcast Grifter is saying, being a fan for 39 years, she can wrestle. I loved Sandman, but he can't wrestle. Jade can.
Same
doubt about
great
it, I'm
entrance
telling
too.
ya.
She might not be a Rhea or Bianca, but she can go. And I am completely inclined to agree with you there. But earlier on in the show, we talked a little bit about Barista Coffee. Well, Clark, I'm going to hand this to you because I know there's a lot more that you want to say about it.
Absolutely. Let me talk about it real quickly. We got Barista. It's small batch. It's organic coffee created through excellence, authenticity, and unforgettable moments. Head over to baristacoffee.com. You're going to love it. This stuff is awesome. It's my really close personal friend, lifelong friend, Bo Hostler. This is his passion project. This is amazing what he's put into this. It's really, really, really high quality craft coffee that you're going to enjoy. And not only that, we got great merch on there. You got visors and hats as well that you can check out, and much more coming up with Barista Coffee over here on the WR channel. I'll tell you that much. But man, if you haven't seen it yet, it did launch today, so I don't blame you. Make sure you check it out. 100%. You will love it. I assure you. Let's keep it rolling, Ben.
Absolutely. It is fantastic. And I cannot wait to get my hands on it. That is for sure. But up next, we have to go to the next hot take, because this is from at HTX_Lozano_36 on Instagram, who says Io Sky and Rhea Ripley should team up and win the women's tag team titles. This isn't something that I would be against, but what about you, Des? What's your thoughts on this?
I gotta say, I believe it was maybe 2 weeks ago or a week ago, but I actually talked about this, about Io and Rhea teaming up. I feel like they have a lot of good chemistry, and it keeps them away from the main title picture from a little bit, because now that Stephanie is in there, Naomi's in there, they could start having other stars, maybe a Becky Lynch, maybe a Lyra, that can also compete for that championship, while also giving more stock to the women's tag division because of how successful Alexa and Charlotte are. And then you could also put Rhea and Io in the mix. And if you want to do a little more of a storyline, you could put Asuka in there. Asuka being a little jealous of Rhea being with Io, maybe something to work off of. But I actually really like this idea. Winning the tag team championships, though, that one I'm not too sure about. I think it would just have to depend on the time. I really like the tag team of Charlotte and Alexa. And for me, they should be the champions for a while. Once they lose that championship, then we could talk about them feuding. So maybe Io and Rhea tagging wouldn't make sense yet. But them tagging makes sense. Them winning the championships, though, I'd hold off on that for a little bit. But this would definitely be something that, in my opinion, put it on the Paris card. The fans are going to go nuts, and they're going to love it. I don't know if they're going to do that for Paris, but this is definitely something I 100% agree with.
Here's the thing, the comments are a little bit divided on it. And you is saying my answer is no. Podcast Grifter says in between but no. And Numero 1 says, I think the better question is why would Rhea and Io team up?
The KD to the Warriors comment that Aunt You had there makes a lot of sense. Why would they? You can answer that question that way. They won an NBA championship in that perfect example. That's why they did. Did it bother everybody from a fan standpoint?
Yeah.
So the only reason is to turn both heel. And I don't think that's in the near future. And that's the only reason that I disagree with it, because I like where Des was going with this for a long time. But the only reason to do it is to go KD to the Warriors and turn them heel. And I don't think that's in the cards.
Okay, that's fair. I would agree with that. There's no way to turn them heel, man. Fans love them. Turning them heel will be a giant mistake.
Yes, absolutely monumental. But there is a good take here from Donnie too. What if the Kabuki Warriors were faced Io and Rhea? in a number one contenders tournament or a gauntlet match, which then will spin into another round of Rhea versus Io, and you won't find me complaining about those two
I like
facing
that.
off.
Okay, Donnie.
That's
I
fine
like
with
it.
me.
Donnie's
But Rhea
cooking.
can't beat her.
Yeah.
That's where we're at now.
It's
Yeah.
true.
I'm all for that. I
I'm
absolutely
for it.
am. The one thing I will say about all this is the women's tag team division is currently, it's in a stalemate. There's nothing really going on outside of Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. So they do need more tag teams. They do need something for both Io and Rhea to do, because no way can they continue feuding for that women's championship now. So it is something I could see happening. Personally, I preferred the idea of having Stephanie Vaquer and Rhea Ripley in a tag team together for a bit, just because I think for like 6 months, you can make them feel like a really, really solid team. But again, it comes back to this issue. Alexa and Charlotte, they are a makeshift tag team. How many makeshift tag teams can you have in a division? You've got to kind of have a lot right now because there's no tag team division, Clark.
I told you, you gotta, if you build it, they will come. My favorite line from my favorite baseball movie. But the division just isn't there. There's no depth. You got to build a division to make it matter.
It's so stupid. It really, really is. Fernando says, happy Monday, WR crew. Shout out to you, Fernando. I hope you are having a great day. And Podcast Grifter says, a one-off team up will work. Long term, not really. But I do also like numero one shout. Put Rhea on SmackDown. Rhea Tiffany Stratton. That's something new, at least.
I don't see it happening. Netflix loves Rhea, and Rhea is a big staple of Netflix. I don't see her going to SmackDown. I mean, they could do it. I think Io could go to SmackDown. That might be something to look into. Rhea, though, I don't see it, man. Like, she is like one of the premier faces of Netflix for WWE. Look at what her and Punk are doing outside. They're promoting it. They're doing all this stuff for it. So I just don't see it.
You know
I gotta
what?
give Fernando
Great
credit.
shout.
Thank you. Somebody caught it. Awesome Field of Dreams reference.
Yes,
I
it is
did
Field of
just
Dreams.
Field of
That's
Dreams.
right.
I did
that
not
tickled
catch
me.
it.
I had to shout out Fernando.
Nah, that's
Thank
cool.
you.
W Fernando.
But I
They'll
do
come.
think this is true. This is why you need a draft or transfer portal now. Des, you mentioned Rhea's important to Netflix, but somebody who we know Netflix love is Bianca Belair. She was the one who, despite not being on Raw, was on all the posters when Raw was heading to Netflix. It was bizarre. Put Bianca Belair on Raw, Rhea to SmackDown, fresh feuds for both. We can finally sort out that Bianca, Jade Cargill, Naomi situation. I am all for that. Agreed. And University. Hopefully a draft is coming up soon. But we now need to get onto our final question of the day. This question is submitted by Oliver Blombach E. Vic over on Instagram, who says Roman Reigns is overrated. In fact, not just overrated, but so overrated. This is an interesting take. Des, I'm going to hand it over to you first. What's your thoughts?
I feel like it depends what you are trying to expect from Roman Reigns, because I've seen fans say that when they're like, oh, we're going to get Roman Reigns back, and he's back for a few weeks, and then he leaves, he has a big match, and comes back and repeats the same cycle. For me, I'm just kind of used to it, just because, of course, Roman has leukemia. Roman's obviously in Hollywood now. He's doing some movies and whatnot. I'm just happy we get Roman Reigns. You know what I mean? And you can't tell me with a straight face when you hear the dun dun dun. You can't tell me that you don't get excited, because his aura truly is unmatched. When that guy comes out, the fans go crazy. There is nobody that can move the needle as much as Roman Reigns. Maybe John Cena, maybe CM Punk. Heck, you want to throw in the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes in there. Roman Reigns is at the top of that list. I'm just used to the fact that this is what is going to happen, right? Roman Reigns is going to be having these low stints, come back for the big four, have the matches, and then leave and then repeat that same process. So I don't mind it. And then again, overrated is such an acquired opinion, because what is overrated to you? Do you mean as a wrestler? Sure. But there's a lot of styles in wrestling, and WWE with Roman Reigns, they like to go with that slow, methodical pace that builds into that big finish because they care more about the story than the in-ring ability. If you want to talk about his promos, well, then I would disagree because Roman Reigns cutting promos now, I think he's fantastic. Back then, he was absolutely dreadful. Just watch the old promos from The Shield where he's like, believe in the Shield, right? Nowadays, it's so different. So, Ben, Clark, what do you guys think?
Do you know what, Des? I agree with you, and I'll double down on it. This opinion might be worse than the Jade Cargill one we had earlier on. Roman Reigns is somebody who everybody disliked. He was getting booed despite supposedly being the biggest babyface in the company. It was all going wrong. But even during that time, this guy was getting banger matches out of everybody. And yes, he's not somebody who tends to have quote-unquote 5-star classics, all of that. But what he does do, and what he always has done since 2016, is he always brings out the best out of his opponent. And not many wrestlers can say that. I remember 2019, him and Baron Corbin, when Baron Corbin really wasn't having that many great matches in ring, in my personal opinion. They got an absolute few bangers out of Baron Corbin. And that... Well, yeah, the feud sucked. The feud
why'd you have
sucked.
to mention
the
that,
match
Clark?
I'm on about. The feud absolutely stunk.
Because I'm about to go buck wild on this.
Well, my point is, Roman Reigns can go in the ring. He always has been able to go in the ring. Des, your point, he's improved on the mic. Yes, he has. He now feels like a star. He has that aura. He put in the work to get to that point. He went into an arena every week where fans were booing him, and he still continued to love it. He still continued to improve. And guess what? This guy is now one of, if not the biggest faces in professional wrestling. So is Roman Reigns overrated? No. If anything, he's underrated. Take that as a quote. Clark, what about you?
This sounds like a guy that asked this question that doesn't even realize he's not even properly rated. He's actually fundamentally underrated. This is a person that thinks that LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan. This is a guy that walks around and talks about things that don't make sense. Roman Reigns is not overrated. He's not properly rated. He's underrated. Roman Reigns is the biggest gift to professional wrestling we've had since AEW, which is also a gift that people get confused on. Both of those things that have shot money cannons through this industry over the last 5 years, we should be thankful we've been a part of. This guy's Michael Jordan. This guy's as good as he gets. This is as good as you can ask a face of the company to be. He can do it as a heel. Babyface, not so much. It didn't work out. Maybe now, though, where we're at, because like Paul Heyman said, it was Emmy-worthy what he's done. You must be joking. Oh, yeah, let's not forget to mention, though, Joe Anoa'i has leukemia. He's still on oral chemotherapy. And then he shows up at probably, 60%, 50% of what he's capable and absolutely punks out all your favorites. Of course you'd hate on him. I maybe get that. But Roman Reigns is not overrated at anything. Roman Reigns is a walking $1 billion check. He's as good as they make him. He's as good of a professional wrestler as you can ask a person to be. He's as infectious of a personality, and he's as charismatic as you can find in 2025, period. No matter what. That's why Air Jordan put his shoes on Roman Reigns.
Absolute brilliant shout there.
Yeah, I love that line. That was a good line.
That is as cold as it gets. I'll tell you that much. Josh Markowitz says Roman has somehow gotten better in ring as he's gotten older. I think he was, honestly, massively underrated back in 2016 even. But the one thing he has gotten better with is the small details, the facial expressions, the little things. And those make a huge, huge difference. Something, of course, which Randy Orton has been amazing at for years and years and years. There's another comment here and something I want to clarify from Donnie, who says there have been many matches since becoming tribal chief that, in my opinion, are 5 stars. I do agree. And Wrestling Republic We've given multiple of his matches 5 stars. I need to re-clarify what I said earlier, because what I meant by that is he's not doing the kick-out flips or that. I was more so making a joke about maybe some other 5 stars. Podcast Grifter says, agree with Donnie. Compared to a Hogan, Rock, or Cena, Reigns is criminally underrated. And you says his match against Sami Zayn in Montreal was so good. Tell me, rewatch that and tell me that he is overrated. I mean, honestly, guys, I think we are on the same page about this. But Josh says he's the best storyteller WWE have ever had.
I couldn't agree more.
Ooh, that's interesting.
You agree?
I agree.
Interesting.
In total, in ring, Shawn Michaels. In total, Roman Reigns.
Really?
Yep. Cody Rhodes' story is not told without Roman Reigns. Period.
Well, you're right.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Well, now that's
finish
wrong.
the story.
That's
no,
wrong.
I'm telling you right now.
Roman.
You know,
Right now, if Roman isn't on the other side of that, Roman is the MVP of that. In hindsight, we go back and analyze this one under a microscope. Roman Reigns made Cody Rhodes. Roman Reigns,
I agree with that.
like 100%. The story is not the same without the ultimate opponent, and that was Roman Reigns, and he played it perfect. I put him right there. Stone Cold is great for the moment. That's Fernando. You mentioned Stone Cold and The Rock. The Rock, Stone Cold, great for singular moments, but long-term stories, you had to put years between their Mania matchups. You didn't with Roman and Cody. And the reason isn't Cody Rhodes, who got a lot of credit for it. It's Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns being on the other side of that was the most important part of that story. Not Dusty, not Cody, not none of the rest of it. It had to be Roman Reigns. Had he gotten injured at WrestleMania before WrestleMania 40, that all falls completely flat.
Well, yeah, that in that situation,
the entire story hinged on the Roman aspect of it. That you can't
that's what I don't agree
this
on.
and
Once the
bloodline.
story had started, it did. But let's say before 39, you started telling that story with somebody else's champion. I think it still would have worked just as good. But, no. I think it still would have worked and still would have been a WrestleMania main event. I just don't think it would have been the greatest or one of the greatest WrestleMania main events. And that's because it was a 3-year title reign. Those don't come around often.
I like Donnie's list on in-ring. I'm talking about the total of it. Donnie, that would be my only thing here, because Donnie just left a really interesting comment here. HBK.
Yeah, he
Kurt,
says Roman's in the situation. HBK, Kurt, Steamboat, Hogan, Lesnar, and Orton too. I mean,
I feel like it depends what your definition of in ring is. There's so many different styles, and there's so many wrestlers that perfect that style perfectly. You know what I mean?
I'm thinking full package to Clark's point, and when you said it, I disagreed, but now I'm thinking about it.
I
it might be
100%.
recency bias, but actually, I don't know if I can disagree with anybody specifically.
I don't think so.
From the moment he said to rest in peace Bray Wyatt, "You're just a freak in a mask," to the end of the run, is one of the, if not the best singles guy run ever.
Undertaker.
Like, realistically, Taker's great, but
Taker is a good storyteller.
It depends. Taker's a great storyteller.
Yeah.
But even then, the talking, all of that, you had a lot of different. I'm talking about just that singular run.
Not even just that
he
too,
had
though.
there as from the wreck everyone and leave. You're just a freak in a mask.
Yeah.
To Paul Heyman uppercutting him, honestly, which is where I think that finally ended, and we got to figure it out from here. But that Roman Reigns for a singular story, I don't know what's much better.
No, you're right. Now that I think about it, because not only is Roman a good storyteller, he elevated so many talents in the main event scene. Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, right? Kevin Owens. He was already main event, but Kevin Owens too.
Donnie, I respect that. I'm just specifically talking about the fact that he added that much to it with the out of the ring.
He did.
Stuff too.
You're right.
I understand
honestly.
that Donnie DeSilva.
No, you tells. I rarely
circles
disagree,
about in-ring,
Donnie.
not story
I
angles.
disagree on that. Storytelling is not just in the ring too. angles are completely involved in that. How you tell a story
can
on the
be, yeah,
microphone
true.
is involved in that.
Yeah,
It is
throwing
everything
Sammy
together.
Throwing Sami Zayn the honorary shirt,
Yeah.
the tribal court, all of
Yep.
the segments, all of that was valuable as well. And I
Yeah.
do factor that in, and that's where overrated is such a joke to me.
No, I agree.
When I saw the question, I was like, this is laughable.
Yeah.
And even your facial reactions during those segments, that's important. And that is
Yes.
what Roman Reigns did so well. Like, remember during those Sami segments, especially when he got hit with that chair, and you could just see in his eyes,
man,
like,
I'll
just
never
that
forget
look.
Dude,
that.
in the 2020s,
so
he made
good.
contract signings exciting again.
Yeah,
I know.
he did.
That's
and it was
not
a pandemic.
easy to do.
Like, it's not easy
Only
to do.
the greatest storyteller can have 60-minute talking segments every week. I mean, I don't know if it was that bad, but
But even then, with his storytelling segments were must-watch television, right? The whole Bloodline 2023 and 2022 was must-watch television. And maybe I'm biased in that opinion, but I mean it, because when it came to SmackDown, that is what I wanted to watch more than anything. And it perfected, and
You're right.
really good.
you are absolutely right. And Donnie's clarified, he's just talking about in the
No, that's
wrestling
fair.
space stories.
Yeah, yeah, I get
fair
that.
enough.
Yeah, yeah.
Completely fair enough
Johnny,
on that one.
absolutely.
But yeah, and I mean, Jamie's 2001 is agreeing with you, Clark. He said only Roman could have beaten Cody at 39 to make finishing the story even better at 40. I mean, that's why I will agree with you. After 39, it had to be Roman, but before that, I think it could have been a WrestleMania main event regardless.
That was the key to him
But
winning.
I feel like you're right, where it could have been a WrestleMania main event, like throw in a guy like Cena, Punk, whatever. But Roman was the story. He was the final boss, right? Obviously, The Rock is the final boss, but he is like the final boss in that video game for Cody Rhodes to finish, and he beat him, and it was such a great moment.
You are right. It wouldn't have been a special. I agree on that. It wouldn't have been. It was the perfect opponent. Maybe the greatest WrestleMania main event of all time from a purely storyline perspective.
It's up there.
Are you talking about 40 or 39? I thought 39 would be. I ranked 39 over 40.
Oh,
This
is only because Clark's a Cody.
What are you talking about? No.
The opposite.
Don't
He's
do
a
that.
Reigns crybaby.
This is a Reigns thing.
He's a
I
Reigns
thought
ranter.
39. I thought 39 was definitely one of the best main events.
I was very sad when Cody lost in 39.
I've got 40
I
at
got it.
I've got 40 at like 7.
Really?
Oh my
40's
gosh.
up
It's
there with
only
me.
because Cody won.
Yeah.
It's only because Cody won, guys. But
No, that's not.
that does bring us to the end of the show. We will be back same time, same place tomorrow. It will be Clark, Shard, and Geordie to talk to you guys a little bit about Monday Night Raw. Check out Allison Analysis tomorrow morning on the Allison Analysis YouTube channel. And as always, Wrestling Republic news every morning on the Wrestling Republic YouTube channel as well. We will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you, Des. Thank you, Clark. Peace.